In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the sky replacement feature in Photoshop. This was added in late 2020, so anyone that has that version or newer will have this. I'm going to include this sky replacement JPEG image for you to use if you want. All you have to do with this layer selected is go up to Edit, Sky Replacement, and it's going to go ahead and pick one of a number of skies that it has to replace your sky with. There's lots of options to make this look good or better or as good as it can get. But first, let's go through top to bottom. At the beginning, you have the sky option where you can actually pick and choose the sky that you want to use. So something like this might be a little bit better than what it automatically picked, which was sort of a sunset photo. This looks a little bit more natural, but also a little bit more dynamic than what I had previously. So if I turn off the preview, you can see the clouds there. Actually, not bad, but this one a little bit more dynamic. The next is Shift Edge. So it automatically finds the edge of your horizon, and shifting this down will actually sort of fade it in a little bit more so your horizon appears more or less. So going all the way up creates a more harsh line. And then this fade edge is sort of like a feathering effect. So if you decrease that, it becomes more of a harsh line. So you can play around with that, see what works good for your photo. Next, you can adjust the sky and the foreground. The sky adjustments are things like brightness. So this photo, you're just trying to match what your actual photo is. And so this photo I took is very bright. So I would say the sky replacement should be a little bit brighter. You can adjust the temperature. So that one might be a little bit warmer than I want. Maybe you like the warmth of it actually. Actually, that looks pretty good. It also sort of applies to your foreground as well. So if you're adding warmth, it has this overlay that is automatically adding warmth too. But you still have to balance it out and try to match what the temperature actually is. And then scale, you could scale it up. And while I do that, I can also move it around. So see how I can just click and move it around. Okay. You can flip it. And then the foreground adjustments, it's already set to multiply, which sort of layers on this adjustment. You can change this to see what your liking is, but I think multiply will work for most people that are using a bright image, and it just depends on what your subject is or the foreground is. The lighting adjustment, similar, you can make it brighter, darker. Color adjustment, same thing. A little cooler, a little warmer, a little green versus magenta. The last thing I want to mention, these are just some other tools that you have. Just the zoom tool to literally just zoom in with the Option key or Alt. If you're on a PC, you could zoom out. The hand tool just moves around your canvas. And then this brush tool. This sky brush tool extends or reduces the sky area. So if I press plus, actually, let's undo that. You see up here in mode, it's on overlay. If I go to normal, you'll really see what's happening. If I just press the plus button, it's painting on the sky background image, just completely painting it on. If I hold the Option key to subtract, it's erasing it. You can drop the opacity of the brush if you want to brush it on a little bit more gently, like layering it. Or you can keep it on the overlay option that it was on originally. Now you'll want to use this if there's things in your foreground that the sky or that Photoshop didn't detect, and say it covered up my subject here with the sky, you can go in and brush that on or off. The last thing I want to show you is you can upload your own photos. So if you go open your sky menu, click the plus button, and then if you have another image, say this one of the sky that I took, we can choose that, and you can see what that looks like here. Okay, so that one doesn't look as good. The sky, the overcast sky, I think clashes with the shadow of this photo. So for me, I'm trying to match the sky replacement, make it look natural. And once you're done, you just click OK, and it adds all of these adjustments that we've just made, plus the image to this sky replacement group. You can turn it on or off to see what it looks like. You can go in and see every single individual adjustment. And it's all grouped in there, easy to access. Pretty cool, huh? Sky replacement in Photoshop. I would say this is definitely something to use for more artistic work and something to consider to make your photos look more dynamic. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.